6. I got this. And hold on, you have to clap.
Headphones, you need to, okay. 3, 2, 1.
Here's mine. 3, 2, get ready for nothing. There it is. All right. Go ahead, sir.
Headphones in. Read all about it.
There we go.
Read all about it. Happy news, sad news. Mostly sad coming from Gibbons, taking a look at his fucking hair.
Is the hair that bad? Well, I mean, okay. Here, all right.
What's wrong with you? I mean, what a horrible way to get on the Zoom call this morning.
All right. So I didn't want, listen, I haven't even looked. I don't know anything about this podcast. I'm in my closet. All right. It's bad enough I do this from my closet, this podcast, right? I am now in my underwear in the podcast.
Hey, now.
Everybody, especially ladies, keep it in your pants. It's not as sexy as it sounds. I finally fell asleep at 3. I have this job that turned sideways yesterday a little bit with Sir David Letterman, who's been nothing but sweet. But we kind of we're all of a sudden we're in a joke crisis, and we got 3 more shows, which we do 6 of tonight. So I'm unprepared.
Jesus.
And then I come to this expecting a little screaming positive energy, and you're like, you were just telling Chris, the producer, that you want to quit comedy.
I don't get it anymore. I just don't get comedy. It just seems so selfish. Like, everybody shut up. I want the whole room quiet while I talk for an hour. And if anybody dares talk, we're going to have these big bouncer guys that eject you from the premises because I'm that important. And I'm just like, this Netflix is a joke festival has been going on in LA, and all these comedians, fucking Puffy is doing Dodger Stadium for 40,000 people. Everybody's doing the Hollywood Bowl night after night. Fuck off. Will everybody just stop with this comedy bullshit?
The festival has been exhausting.
Exhausting.
Emotionally, and not only physically. Yeah, it really, and then, the hitting. Where do we begin? So I was at the Chappelle show where he got tackled.
Right. I'm laying in bed on Tuesday night. I went to bed early, so it's like 10:45, and all of a sudden my phone fucking
You have quit comedy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. And, well, it's Tuesday night. And it's you saying you're not going to believe what just happened at the Hollywood Bowl. Chappelle was attacked. And I kind of laughed. I thought it was a joke. And then
earlier in the night, I said, let's go. Adam Egett was in town. We were at Norm Macdonald's memorial. What a day. Good Lord.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. So there's not going to be much news in Sunday papers today because we have to keep this like an hour because of me. And I apologize. But, all right. So that day, anyway, I called you like, hey, I had already seen Chappelle, and so at the bowl, and so this is his 4th night or something. So I was like, hey, our good buddy Chuck Sklar, who's one of Chris's favorite writers, goes, you going to the bowl tonight? I'm like, oh, no, I already saw him. And he's like, you should go. Rock is going up. I'm like, what? And so I immediately had just left you and Adam and said, let's go. This will be his first L.A. appearance that I know of since the slap. And so Chris Rock is present when another person charges the stage attacking a comedian.
Thank God Chappelle had his own security and not fucking Chris Rock's security. Rock needs to look into that detail. They're a little bit more excited about their jobs than Chris Rock's guys are.
Yeah, I don't really care what your detail is. You could be like, the premier of Israel. No one is anticipating Will Smith charging the stage and slapping you. I think they could have been lax there.
If Chappelle had been hosting or presenting at the Oscars and Will Smith smacked him, Chappelle's guys would have come out and smacked the shit out of Will Smith. I guarantee that.
I'm wondering if Chappelle would have.
Right.
It would have been very different. Oh, so I will say this. So, all right, I'm at the bowl, a couple of little stories. So I'm at the bowl. What a lineup, especially compared to the first time I saw him. It was not great, but this lineup was, and I'll have no recall today, so I apologize in advance, but it was Michelle Wolf, then Sebastian, who, it's almost like the Hollywood Bowl is almost like a small place for him.
Right.
And he actually made me chuckle a couple of times. And then Jimmy Carr. So I find this place called the Beer Garden, which wasn't crowded at all because I think everyone at the bowl seemingly was their first night at the Hollywood Bowl. This is not the crowd that goes to see the LA Philharmonic. You know what I mean? So no one seemed to know about this Beer Garden, including me. I was like, oh my God, look, what a find. So I go up there. Anyway, there's this big group of black people right next to me, and we're joking and having a blast. And then Jimmy Carr comes up, and the dude's like, he's like, what's up with this British white guy? And I'm like, the best is when someone's like, hey, what's that in your pocket? And you have like, a 45 Magnum, 44 Magnum. I'm like, oh, this guy? I go, yeah, he will be the hardest guy to take the stage tonight, including Chappelle. They all double over. I'm the complete fucking idiot. They're like, get what this guy just said, and die laughing. 3 jokes later, this fucker's right. This guy's crazy. Like, Jimmy Carr was just unbelievable.
He's great.
Yeah. After Jimmy Carr, holy shit, dude. I had never seen him.
Earthquake's a legend. Fucking legend.
I knew he was a legend.
He was talking about how he left. I remember him talking about how he left Hollywood when he realized how hard it was for a black man to get roles when Planet of the Apes came out and he couldn't even get seen by a casting director.
He's talking about his wife being so not attracted to him. He's like, we should just always do it doggy style. And I want to give her a picture of hot black guys that she can look at during sex. It was, anyway, his tag, his runner, which I'm sure is legendary, is like, these aren't jokes. Like that's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
He killed me.
Yeah.
Okay. After Earthquake, all of a sudden, Jeff Ross, who's the MC, builds a very big intro. And I had told my friends here at the Garden, I'm like, somehow they're like, oh, you already saw it, so why are you back? I'm like, well, there's a special guest tonight that I want to see. So whatever, who, I say no a few times, but then finally I'm like, Chris Rock. They're like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, listen, what do I know? But that's why I'm here. And so big intro happens. So I'm like, this is like, he's multiple Emmy winner, Peabody, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is Rock. All of a sudden, Jeff Ross is like, ladies and gentlemen, Jon Stewart. I'm like, what? And of course, they're all like, this isn't. And I'm like, oh no, did Stewart take Rock's place? Anyway, Stewart, what was great about seeing Stewart, I'm not the hugest fan of his stand-up, but what was great about seeing him was that was the Roe versus Wade day.
Okay.
And he was livid. He did a lot of funny stand-up, very self-deprecating and disarming, of course, but he then goes, I didn't think I was going to try not to do this, but gets a piece of paper out of his pocket and goes, if I didn't write stuff down today in my hotel room, I would have jumped out the window. And so he wrote material like 2 hours old that he's doing in the bowl. So I thought that was a very Comedy Cellar moment in the bowl. You know what I mean? And then a dramatic set change, like in other words, tonal change. It goes dark. A scrim comes down, and now these guys, and now I'm, going to the seats. I'm like, sorry, I guess Stewart replaced Rock. I go, because this feels like Chappelle. So I then go to my seat, but it's a like white scrim, not Chappelle's sort of red scrim that he's been using, and it's white. Blah blah blah. Anyway, all of a sudden, an announcer, not Jeff Ross, I think, comes on and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen," no, doesn't say anything else, and then out of the stage and then dramatic, this solo spotlight on Chris Rock, and the place went crazy.
Wow.
I mean like the best band ever in there. And he just walked the whole, and I felt like I'm getting chills now telling it. It was like, this is the most unbelievable ovation for a man who showed restraint.
Right.
And finally, I mean, he walked the whole length. I think he was taken aback by how strong the reaction was. And then when he came back, so his first line was like, "It's okay, I'm doing fine." And then he killed.
Yeah.
Way better than any time I've seen him in the last 3 years.
Really?
Or whatever. More than that because of the pandemic.
Well, he's in the middle of a tour. He's got it tight. He's got it down.
Yeah. So sorry about the inside baseball, but I think we have comedy fans listening, maybe one or two. So that was. Anyway,
I hung out with Jimmy Carr last night, and he was telling me about that he just had lunch with David Letterman yesterday.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Instead of him working on his beer joke.
Yeah, that might have caused some of the delay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had a big lunch with him, and they were talking about Norm, and, Letterman was just gushing and going on about him. And one of them, I can't remember, one of them had a story about Norm, because I talked about when the last time I did a show with Norm, he got super baked. It was me, him, and Joe Rogan at a benefit backstage. And Rogan pulls out a fucking cigar-sized joint. Yeah. And Norm smokes it, and, he doesn't smoke a lot. And he smoked for 15 minutes. He just kept puffing on it. Even Rogan was like, dude, take it easy. Are you all right? And so then he goes out on stage and just, does a half a joke and then starts a different joke and then comes back to the first one, and then he starts talking to someone in the crowd. It was the most unguided, not a laugh the entire time. And then Carr said that, and again, I can't remember if it was him or Letterman saw this happen, but Norm smoked a little bit of pot, and he walked on stage somewhere, and he did his set, and it went well. And then he told the crowd, "I love you guys. I really love you," and he started crying. And he said, "This is where I'm happy." He goes, "Now I have to leave here and go out there, and I'm no good out there. I'm only good here.
Oh.
I don't understand it out there. I understand this."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably why there's so many Norm stories where he's doing, so the memorial, the stories were, of course, unbelievable. People came. This was see if you agree. First of all, I see you. We start chatting. And then we start chatting so much.
No, please. Start at the beginning of the story when you went to check in.
Oh my God. Well, already. Okay. Guess what, guys? There was a security line outside. I walk in, and it's late because no one's on it, so there's not a soul around. It's on Hollywood Boulevard. It has not started yet by any stretch, but everyone's already inside. And I then run down this security thing. I get there, and then all of a sudden the guy's there with the wand. So I put up my hands, and all of a sudden I feel two hands on and around my asshole. And this time, I am not wondering who it is.
You didn't even turn around.
I'm like, there he is. On the street in the middle of Hollywood. It's 13 miles from where we live. This is the odds of us arriving at that exact point.
I had even asked you the night before if you wanted to drive together, and you're like, "Nah, I'm going to have to go to work from there," or whatever. So I was like, all right, I guess maybe I'll see you there.
Right. So we're talking together, and after the second person goes, "Hey, is that the Sunday paper?" We're like, we gotta go socialize with other people. Yeah. So I wind up sitting next to you. Turn to our right. Well, first of all, Dave Keckner sat between us, who is one of the favorite balls of energy on this planet.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
Unbelievable, that guy. Yeah. Anyway, to our right, what would you say, 3 seats? Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Sandler to our left, Spade, the who's who. But they all told stories. But anyway, this is what I was going to say. There's so many stories about him that the approach by most people was, I'm just, Colin Quinn almost only told Norm in elevator stories.
Yeah.
And then Spade goes, "Yeah, all right, you're gonna hear story after story after story today. I'm just going to talk about Norm's texting." Yeah. They had to find a subgenre of Norm stories to be slightly original,
Right. The best was when Spade goes up, and the first two people that went up was it Steve O'Donnell from SNL?
Conan hosted.
Oh, Conan went up and he got a
and
standing
then Lori
ovation.
Joe.
And then Lori went up and got a standing ovation.
Yes.
And then Spade gets introduced, and then he walks up to the mic and he goes, I guess the standing ovation portion of the show has wrapped up.
Oh my God. I mean,
Conan was fantastic.
It was the perfect length, which was not long at all and super funny. Not about him.
Yep.
All about Norm. Not even like tangentially, like, whatever, like no humble brags, like what do you know about him on his show. And like, it was all great. It was.
Well, he told the story of the very famous moth joke that Norm did on Conan. And he said Norm came on, and, you have a producer when you go on a late night talk show, as you know, because that's what you've done so many years. And the producer talks with you the week before, and you go over topics, and you start to figure out what you're going to talk to the host about. And then you beat out your story, and you review it with the producer. And so they do all that. He does a segment, kills, as he always does on Conan.
Right.
And then Conan goes, okay, we're going to be right back with more Norm Macdonald. And you cut to Norm's face, and he's like, what? Like, and he goes to Norm. He goes, I don't have any more material. That was it.
Norm said that. Yeah.
And so Conan's like, well, you got to have something. And he's like, I don't know. I got it. Was it his brother had just told him a joke?
No, Colin Quinn earlier that day told him a 15-second joke.
Yeah. And so he goes, I got this one joke. I guess I'll do the moth joke. So he takes, and just Conan's description of what Norm did with that 15-second joke, how he opened it up to like existential exploration and invoked Dostoevsky and Kant and like, and he just described it. And
the moth was part of a Russian family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen that bit, and I think 80% of people listening have seen that joke.
Yeah, I think so.
Just Google moth joke and Norm Macdonald and see what he did on the fly. And they said we need 4 minutes, and he did 4 minutes with the joke.
I don't think it was the moth joke appearance, but when we did Sports Show with Norm Macdonald, it was sports doesn't work on Comedy Central. We're very worried. Our premiere date is 4 days away. So here's a coveted Conan appearance to promote Sports Show. He goes on, Conan. We're all watching, together, and he goes on and begins a long joke. I don't think it was moth because he did other ones like it.
Oh yeah.
He starts this long joke, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I could go on about how we were all reacting. And I'm like, oh my God, that's all his time because it was such a long, stupid joke. To the point where Conan literally goes at the trying to interrupt him at the end. He's like, Norm, don't you have a show to promote? And Norm's like, nah. That literally happened.
That's amazing.
So it was never discussed.
Yeah.
And Conan realized the urge and goes, all right, well, listen, Norm, you have a sports show that airs like it was the outro. Nah.
All right, well, we got to push forward because we've only got an hour. We got a lot of news to get to.
We don't have an hour anymore, and I thought this was it. All right, let me look at what did you do? What did you
Well,
get
we got
stories?
a song from Mitch Robinson, which was really good, and we're getting near the end of our songs. I said that I would play all the songs that have been written and produced and sent in. We're almost at the end of that, and then we're going to lock. I know, and we're going to lock in on one song after this.
All right.
And I know Rob Dukes was working on one with somebody else. They were going to co-write a song together, so maybe that'll happen. Also, the logo for Melanie Myers is very funny. It's for the Johnny Depp trial.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, man. Remember that old saying, I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers? I think Johnny Depp has a new saying about that.
Corrections. Hey, Greg, this is very interesting Sunday Papers this week. Here's the actual joke. I guess I told a joke wrong. What does a lesbian bring to a second date? A U-Haul. What does a gay guy bring to a second date? What second date? And this is, we were talking about stereotypes last night. This is just a fucking true stereotype. I know so many gay and lesbian people who that literally happens. They go on one date and all of a sudden they move in together.
Yeah, well, guys, yeah, that is an interesting one. The less interesting is, yeah, of course there's not even a first date. They like a lot on Grindr, you know, we have friends, they meet behind a dumpster.
Right.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And so yeah, anyway,
I've always been jealous of that. That was my dream.
Duh.
When I was going through puberty and I was, 14, 15, 16 years old, if you could have told me there was an app where, granted, I'm not gay, but that if I was gay, that like somebody would just suck my dick after me pushing a few buttons, I would have been like, okay, so I guess we're in heaven. I guess this is it.
We're out with a friend who won't go named, and he'll just call up Grindr and be like, all right, are you guys doing anything? Are you going to another place after this? And we're like, no, I think we're going to go home. He's like, all right, because there's 3 guys within like 50 feet. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Also, he'd visit me at my place, and he'll be like, do you want to know what, and by married, he means straight guys. He goes, do you want to know what married guys in your building here are on Grindr? Like, good Lord, you're animals. How is there anything even remotely similar in the hetero community? And with very few exceptions, which they have to be super weird, I think, or kinky, the answer is no.
Well, I had a tenant in my apartment in Venice, and he told me, he goes, and I was wondered if this guy was gay because he seemed very metrosexual. And then he called me up one day and he's like, hey, having sex in your apartment right now.
The mystery solved. Yeah. Well, anyway, very briefly, but I've told this story before. After my divorce, I really didn't do anything like for a year. And then like the writer's room's like, you got to get on dating apps. So it's the first time I ever heard of Tinder. And they're like, I knew about Grindr because of our friends and stuff. And Grindr also made huge news. And especially in the comedy community, everyone had jokes about it. So I was like, what's Tinder? They're like, oh, it's like the Grindr for heteros. I'm like, what? I'm like, yes. Yeah, put me on that one because I also wasn't looking for anything emotional yet, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, that's my bridge back to emotional relationships. And I'm like, that's perfect. So they put me on there, of course, no joke. First date on Tinder, I wind up dating a year and a half to 2 years. And I wanted to sue Tinder for false fucking advertising.
Well, you and I are not those guys. Some guys, they can have sex, and the understanding is, hey, this is physical, no strings attached. You and I are the kind of guys that women want to date. I would always try to have a one-night stand, and then they would always be like, yeah, but you're like a friend. You're like I want to be like a girlfriend to you. It's like, oh,
I would
what a
give
curse.
off. All right, then give me another chance at this. I know how to do it now. I'm going to give off none of those vibes behind a dumpster in the alley. They're going to be like, oh, are you Mike? I'm like, nah, let's not even go. Let's not.
Yeah,
let's not even do that.
Right.
No.
Speaking of
do you have two kids? No, none of that talk.
Yeah.
I don't care about your fucking dog. Let's go.
Speaking of Tinder, I'm going to be in Tacoma at the
that's-
Tacoma Comedy Club, May 19th through the 21st. Irvine Improv, May 27th through the 29th. And Bakersfield, California at the Well on June 11th. I have this guy open for me sometimes. I'm not going to say his name. And he works Tinder. Black guy. He works Tinder and fucking gets chicks morning, noon, and night on the road. Like literally has a daytime hookup and then has a nighttime hookup almost every day. Yeah.
And that's perfect. My response and probably yours to that is before even like, man, that's cool, is wow, that's exhausting.
It is exhausting. You got to dodge calls. You got to coordinate people.
Yeah.
But he handles it. He puts out the energy and it seems to work. Although I think he's falling in love with somebody and it could ruin his game. And he's upset. You ever see somebody?
I hope it's himself. He's killing it.
You ever see somebody angry that they're falling in love?
Yes, I have a mirror.
Yeah.
If that's what you're asking.
Right. Speaking of falling in love, I am in love with Audible.com. They are it's like people talk about what are the great things in America. AAA works. You call, they fix your car.
Is that a random or is AAA the next ad?
No. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I also put Audible in that category.
Audible's incredible.
I listen to audiobooks every single night when I go to bed, and the selection of Audible titles is insane. We were talking about Norm's book.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
Well, it's a memoir that's almost true, or I forget. Yeah.
It is so much better than reading the book, to hear him read it. I highly suggest Sarah Silverman's book,
Bedwetter?
Colin Quinn's book. Yeah, The Bedwetter.
Colin Quinn has a book?
Yeah. Listen to them read their books.
Okay.
And you can do it now. New members can try Audible for 30 days for free. You get one title every month from their entire catalog. They've got every genre, bestsellers, memoirs, thrillers, a lot of wellness stuff, too. If you're into self-help and motivation and wellness, they've got all kinds of stuff like that, meditation stuff. I've been listening to the Mao. Oh, it's called Based on a True Story, Not a Memoir.
Okay.
It's
incredible. And by the way, brace yourself, or more like get yourself psyched, because it really is more like it's a novel.
Yeah.
It is a novel that has shades of the Russian authors and Chekhov and everything that Norm was obsessed
And like
with.
Cormac McCarthy. It's very much a Western as well.
And you hear him read it, which is the whole point of this ad. And I mean, all right, so on my shelf out there's an Audible shout out. I immediately, when Keith Richards' memoir came out, it was kind of big news. And this big book, and I asked for it for Christmas, and my girls got it for me. I couldn't wait to read it. And then I heard, oh, have you heard about the Audible? And I'm like, with this book? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, Keith reads it, first of all, and gets sidetracked reading it and just makes, these left and right turns and adds stories to it. That book on my shelf has never been cracked.
Right.
Why would I?
Also, Johnny Depp reads part of the book for Keith Richards.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, visit audible.com/papers or text papers to 500/500, not / like hyphen, 500-500, the number. And you can become a part of it. It's changes your life. I listen to it every night going to bed. It's how I fall asleep. I go to the gym. I get on the treadmill and I listen to it. Become part of our family.
I have to do that book you're doing your book club on that you and Apatow talked about. Not Apatow, that you and Adam talked about at the memorial.
And Kind, yeah. Visit audible.com/papers or text papers to 500-500. Okay. Let's get to the front page, Mike.
Oh, God. You're doing all this. I don't even have a paper. Wake me up if I doze.
Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
A plane to New York was forced to return to London mid-flight
News
after
to me.
it was revealed that the co-pilot was not properly trained. The Virgin Atlantic Airbus was heading towards JFK Airport and was only 40 minutes into its journey when the pilot found out and returned to Heathrow after the first officer told the captain he had not yet completed his final flying test. The mistake was described as a rostering error, and they had to do a U-turn over Ireland. We apologize for any inconvenience caused to our customers. Yeah. Attention passengers. We've got an untrained pilot behind the controls here. If you don't worry. This is just like when your son borrowed your car at 14 and went for a joyride after raiding your wine cellar. By the way, it might be a good time to sign up for that Virgin Atlantic Premium Fly High card. You'll get 50,000 free miles for joining today. And because of the circumstances, we're going to throw in 6 weeks of psychotherapy and a scream pillow.
What? Why not leave to your wife and its kids and all surviving family members 15,000 free miles when you sign up for the card?
If you turn in the card now, we'll honor any Any miles that have accrued since you died? I mean, until we land?
Yeah. Wi-Fi, you know what? Never mind. It's not even, you're not even going to be able to fire up a movie. Don't worry about Wi-Fi. All right. Okay, wait a minute. Here's, of course, the question I think on everyone's mind. How did it get over the ocean before they figured this out? Isn't most of the work of a co-pilot before takeoff? Like, it must have been like, how are the wings? Yeah, they look good. Like,
Yeah, right.
all right, what's fuel level? Is that F? I think it's on F.
Yeah.
Like, it must. Well, like, and also, what caused the pilot to figure it out? It must have just been the 15th thing that didn't come back right to the pilot's ears. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, right.
He's like, I still can't believe these things fly.
Or when he-
Okay, we're turning around.
Well, let's get the guy to crank the propellers so we can get going. What? They don't crank.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's a joke from Denman
America.
coming in. Co-pilot was too sober.
Oh, that might have been it.
Yeah.
The guy's like, guys, paper maps out. Okay, America, it's west. It's west. That story is too much.
Have you been following the Alabama corrections officer accused of helping an inmate escape jail?
I have heard about this story, and then the first day, it made me think of that movie I really like, Donamora, Escape at Donamora, the TV show.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
Ben Stiller directed, and because my first question
It was a series, I think, wasn't it?
You're right. My first question was, what is the gender of the officer? So, all right, go ahead. I don't know anything beyond that.
Well, they had a 2-year relationship, apparently, and their names are, you ready for this? Vicky White, 56, and inmate Casey White, 38. Not related.
Wow.
So they've been
First
gone
of all,
for,
how are two people not related in Alabama? But let's
Right.
just continue.
So they've been on the run for 7 days now. She was set to retire that week.
No.
Yes, she's going to lose her whole fucking pension, everything. What men do to women is astounding.
Could have been her.
I guess that they met when at one prison, and then he moved, they moved, but they stayed in touch, and so far no one has reported seeing them. Vicky White is 5'5". Casey White is 6'9". It's got to be tough to be on the run at 6'9".
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things you should avoid doing at that height. Flying coach, having sex with someone who's 5'5", and becoming a fugitive.
And laying low.
And laying low. And squeezing through bars and windows.
He's 6'9", but don't worry about his height. He also has a massive face tattoo, so
Yeah.
real hard to find this
It's
guy.
amazing. Nobody has seen them for 7 days.
It's still going?
Yeah, still ongoing.
Wow.
They found one of their cars, apparently.
Oh, I
somewhere.
saw that headline. I did see
Yeah.
that headline.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
All right. What's your bet? I have the very easiest guess in the world.
I give a
No. Like, where are they?
They are in a hunting lodge somewhere in Alabama. Hold up.
No, they are in Florida.
Oh,
Florida
that's where you
has a
go.
magnetic pull
Right.
for people on the run. By the way, I will only scratch the surface. We'll probably get letters telling us all the people who have gone to Florida. But it begins, of course, with the two guys from In Cold Blood who wiped out a family in, I think, Kansas.
Truman Capote.
Yeah, and then those two guys right to the beach in Miami. And, they are hicks. Were they in prison already? But they were like characters also out of Mice and Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they undoubtedly took off their shirt with their dirty jeans on when they got to the beach there. And then, of course, the serial killer of them all from the Northwest.
Jeffrey Dahmer?
No.
No, the good-looking guy.
Yes, he cross country crossed all lower 48 to go to Florida, and then he
Yep.
killed people in the sorority house.
And then the fashion designer who got killed,
yeah, he got killed. That might have been a little homegrown.
and the guy
down.
ran to
I don't know.
Florida.
Oh, he did. No, that was in Florida. He got killed.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
All right, wait. One little side
But
note.
he had killed somebody before that. He killed somebody out west. I think he went on a countrywide killing spree that ended with him killing. Was it Versace?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, ended up killing Versace in Miami at the end.
All right, one little side story because we're playing detective here. So I come to the Comedy Store after the Chappelle thing, and Attell's there. Attell is dressed like a New York City detective.
Yes.
That is what he has. A black jacket on, he has a black baseball hat on, and he's smoking a bazillion cigarettes. And he's kind of has this posture now where he's hunched over a little bit. And so I'm telling him the details, and so he interrupts me. Attell is not trying to be funny at all. So I go, and the guy charges. He's like, what color was he? And like puts a cigarette in my face, pointing at me. I'm like, I have no idea. It was so fast. I don't know. I've only seen this live. There's no tape of it yet. He locked up our phones. Fine. So then I tell the story, and I go, someone goes, yeah. Someone in the group goes, there's not enough security. Kind of like you brought up. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, you know what the funny thing is? During the show, Dave looks to the wings and goes, yeah, bring out my tequila. Bring out my tequila. That did not happen the first time I saw him. Guy comes out with his tequila, and Dave goes, thanks, Paul, or whatever his name is. And he goes, hey, everybody, give it up for Paul. That's my new security guard. And Attell immediately goes, he was new.
Oh.
Like, it is like talking to a New York City detective whose ears are open for all the things that stand out to him in a story.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Attell this week a little bit, but he's so uncomfortable in L.A. I don't even like to spend time with him when he's in L.A. He's just like completely out of his skin.
Yes. He called Jeff Ross Vladimir Gluten. He's on stage and he's next to Bill Burr and Jeff Ross, and he's like, no, this is super cool. I never thought I'd see the Blue Man Group without their makeup on.
I saw him another time called Jeff Ross. He goes, you look like an Olympic doctor.
Oh, my God.
Let's get to this one. The Trudeau government wants it known that Canada is open to any Americans who may need to travel north to access an abortion. Quote, if an American wanted a medical procedure, they could get one. They would just have to pay for it out of pocket. There's no reason why we would turn anyone away to receive that procedure. But the reality on the ground is Canada is far more complicated. Anyone who travels north for healthcare will discover that the system is stretched and waiting lists are long for many types of medical care. Abortion services are no different. Hi, I'm here for my abortion appointment. Hey, I made it 18 months ago. Can you hold my baby while I'm under?
Can you just double check there's not another one in there? I mean, I have the appointment. I'm not going to cancel it.
I'm not going to cancel it.
Yeah.
By the way, I've really enjoyed Toronto these 9 months.
Their new saying, come for the abortion, stay for the syrup.
And what is a Canadian abortion? Do they do it different there? Do they coax the baby out with a little maple syrup and then boom, hockey stick does the rest?
They're just so nice. Like, you don't want to do this. Come on out. Come on out. It's like a hostage crisis. They have like 3 guys trying to talk the baby out. Come on out. This isn't you.
Yeah. In Florida, we love Florida. A woman celebrated her 100th birthday by trying something new, jumping out of a plane. So she served on the front lines as a nurse in World War II, Raymond Sullivan.
Wow.
And I'd never done it, she said, and I've done a lot of things in 100 years. Read anal. So I thought I must do it well. Anytime people say something like that, I've done a lot of things, they mean anal. So she went tandem with somebody. She went tandem with her out of work son, who's drunk and was and convinced her to do it. Let's just swing by the bank on the way and check on your will real quick.
Yeah, he was reciting the will as they plummet to the earth.
Yeah. She said she shit her pants.
Just sign here with the wind.
Yeah. She said she shit her pants, just like yesterday and the day before.
Oh, not during the jump. Sorry, I just put it on the questionnaire.
Yeah. Let's get down to entertainment.
Oh, we are. Okay. All right.
Carlos writes in, if you like somebody somewhere on HBO, your book club probably sucks. Good podcast. I like your Sunday papers. Well,
I agree with Carlos.
okay.
I don't think your book club sucks, and I'm not saying that show sucked, but I couldn't continue with it.
Well, I still recommend it. I think you just got to open up your mind to it a little bit.
Oh, is that what my problem is?
Yes, open your heart a little bit.
I will say, we talked about this, but I started Ozark, the last 4 episodes or whatever it is. Did you?
No, I'm not ready.
Yeah. The first one's a little slow, but it gets you. It gets you. I'm psyched to see the rest.
A source is potentially clearing up reports about Sydney Sweeney's experience at the 2022 Met Gala. You know Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria?
No.
You're kidding, right?
Is that the trans person?
No, that's the one with the unbelievable breasts that does a fair amount of nudity.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would not describe her that way, but yeah, sweet cans. Sorry. Go ahead.
Earlier in the week, a viral
Well, wait a
video.
minute. We talked about this. Someone goes, have you seen that episode yet? Whatever episode, right? And I go, no. He's like, oh, there was controversy. Apparently she got uncomfortable. And by the way, this is what I was told. I have no idea if this is true, but he's like, no, there's an article. She got uncomfortable on set and formally requested they show her breasts less. Like she felt it got, very gratuitous, right? And the production listened. And so they cut back. So I watched that episode, and that episode were her 2 tits the whole time. And I'm like, wait a minute, what was it?
Yeah, right.
I mean, they were moving. There were shots under them. There was
selfies. She had shot selfies of herself. They showed stills of her nude.
They were being grabbed. They were swaying. It was, God, good for her, but maybe too late. I have no idea. Maybe they CGI. They took her image and they just created more boob shots. It was it was so gratuitous.
Yeah, and I've watched that
Favorite
15 or
episode.
16 times just to see if I did actually think it was too gratuitous, and I think it is.
I might go back and check.
So earlier this week, a viral video surfaced seemingly showcasing the 24-year-old star being catcalled while walking the red carpet at the Met Gala.
Oh.
Now, BuzzFeed News is issuing an update. While the original report claimed that the voice may have been shouting, "Show us your boobs," a source who spoke with people in attendance said that the person had instead called out, "Does anyone have moves like you down there? Come on, show us those moves," in reference to how Sweeney had been twirling around and dancing just a few minutes earlier before walking up the stairs.
I think that's the worst thing to yell.
Show us your
It's
moves.
weird. Okay.
It reminds me of, like, remember being a Mets fan when you thought they were booing Mookie Wilson every time?
Yeah,
Or if you're a Yankees fan, you thought they were booing Lou Piniella?
Yes.
Now
Right.
it turns out we just wanted them to show us their tits.
Or when they, I'm trying to think. I was going to say booed Patrick Ewing, but that sounds like a boo also. I was trying to find someone who gets just plain booed.
So, all right, let's get to international.
Love it. Do I? Russia.
Actually, I don't know if we read this one already. Let's skip to the second one because I don't know if we read this
No,
one.
you did not know. I know for a fact you skipped it last week.
Okay. Russia's using militarized marine mammals to protect a key Black Sea naval base. Satellite imagery shows 2 dolphin pens floating off the mouth of its key naval base. The marine animals can be trained to do everything from attach recovery cord to lost equipment to attacking and even apprehending divers or swimmers who breach security areas. Can you imagine being apprehended by a dolphin?
I mean, there's no exaggeration. I would rather be in the water with a shark who doesn't know anything, who has no intel on what side I'm on, than a dolphin who is trained to attack me. Like, yeah, it's a ridiculous thing to even bring up. That's 10 out of 10.
Right.
There's no consideration.
Well, you'd have to bribe them. So if you're gonna swim, carry like some sturgeon, and you turn the dolphin into a double agent. You flip him on the Russians.
Maybe this dolphin will immediately recognize my fanny pack that is filled with treats. I'm gonna throw mackerel in your mouth, you little bastard, if you just leave me alone.
Plus, if it's a female soldier, you're getting raped. Those fuckers are like Bill Cosby at a rap party.
I did think it's so charming we're still using, and this is a real thought, real animals. Like, if you want to impress me, where are the AI dolphins? Show me the equivalent of the mechanical hound, that Bradbury wrote about in Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like, just the equivalent of a drone underwater, which they probably literally have underwater drones. And leave the poor dolphins out of it.
Yeah, I know. It's like when they use German shepherds as like bomb seeking, they go step on the bombs in this field. That's not nice.
Oh my God. Or trained literally to attack black people. I don't know how else to say it, but like, non-whites, they were trained during the race riots of the civil rights movement.
Swiss police have seized more than 500 kilograms of cocaine. That's a lot of fucking cocaine.
Whoa.
From a shipment
of... Is it? I don't know. That could be a spoonful. That's how stupid I am.
From a shipment of coffee beans delivered to a Nespresso plant.
Whoa, holy Breaking Bad. What a system.
Workers at the plant in Romont in the western Swiss canton of Fribourg alerted authorities to a mysterious white powder found in sacks of coffee beans. The investigation indicated the shipment originated in Brazil. The seized cocaine was estimated to be more than 80% pure with an estimated street value of over $50 million. I'll tell you, I have an espresso machine, and they got a lot of amazing flavors. French vanilla, cocoa, but this would hands down be the best one. Like, you think coffee gets you going in the morning? My day doesn't get started till I snort my second cup of coffee.
This cup had quite a kick to it.
Wow.
I got half of my screenplay done. My garage is clean, and I started 3 businesses with my friends. What time is it? 10:30. What a morning.
Tried to fuck my wife 4 times.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't get it up. No problem. I was still very into it.
Yeah. Maybe I got to switch to decaf so I can get an erection again.
Oh, my God.
And then Pope Francis authorized spending up to 1 million euros to free a Colombian nun kidnapped by Al-Qaeda. This could pose serious implications for the Vatican and Catholic Church, since he provided evidence that the Pope was apparently willing to pay ransom to Islamic militants to free a nun who was eventually let go last year. They were like, we've got her wrapped up in a blanket with a hole cut out for the face. Oh, that's just her uniform.
He probably defended the decision, like 1 million euros. Do you know how much we pay to move around pedophile priests? This is a drop in the bucket.
Right. I didn't think the Catholic Church cared about nuns. They get zero respect. They can't say Mass. They can't give the Eucharist. They can't give final rites. They just
don't get in trouble as nearly as much as their male counterparts, so they get no attention that way.
I wonder if nuns molest also.
Of course they do.
Boys or girls?
I imagine both.
Yeah.
I think some of them are non-discriminating, right? Unlike Michael Jackson, who was a homosexual pedophile, which, by the way, allegedly, which Norm would always point out. And to his credit, Norm never sheepishly, fucking pathetically said the word allegedly.
You know that nuns, I just read about this. The new pope decreed, which he gets to decree. The rest of us just say stuff.
I want
When
to
you're a pope, you
decree, like
decree.
clean your room to my
Yeah.
girls or something. Yeah.
I know. He decreed that nuns no longer have to be virgins to enter the sisterhood. And,
Whoa.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe we should call them sums.
Wait, what?
Instead of nuns, we should call them sums.
Why is that? I'm missing it. Sorry.
Because they have some sex.
Oh, nuns. Got it. Boy. All right. That's on me.
It's a perfect joke.
It's a very good joke.
It's Lockhorn worthy.
I think because all I'm doing is crafting jokes all day, every day this week. Maybe you have to put nuns in the punchline also.
Yep.
Nuns to sums or something.
Right.
Let's spend a half hour on it, which is literally what I have been doing.
All right, let's hit the sports.
Oh my God! Look
Paper
at
is
this.
so
All
soft.
credit to you. All right, I'm going to load the document this week.
All right. During her final season as head coach of the Texas Southern women's basketball program, WNBA legend Cynthia Cooper, not making this up, -Dyke, was accused of inappropriate, demeaning, and degrading behavior by multiple players. The school announced her retirement after the season came to a close. Cooper Dyke allegedly used, quote, overt sexual language with her players in ways that many found to be inappropriate, demeaning, and degrading. Quote, these are some of the things that she said. Quote, no, she'll be all right. She just needs some dick, that's all, Cooper Dyke allegedly said when told about one of the players suffering with depression. Quote, you got a fat ass, and I can tell you like to ride some dick, she allegedly said to one of the other players who was doing squats.
But my coach would scream that at me. This is coaching.
This is
He'd
what you
tell
do.
me.
Yeah.
He'd tell me I'd have a fat ass and I needed some dick. And then he'd like push me physically.
All right, everybody, huddle up. Let's get some points on the board, some offensive rebound, and most of all, let's get some dick.
Oh my God.
Coach, I need tomorrow off. I got a big final exam. No, you need some dick.
So coach, oh my God, these players. Coaches now can't say inappropriate things like this. All right.
That's a goddamn shame. It's literally called locker room talk. You know, gym, locker room, same thing.
Whatever. I'm going to tell one joke. It's the shortest thing ever that Chris Rock told, and I'm sure it'll be on his special. Anyway, I'm just one sentence, but it applies to this. He's like, yeah, words hurt. Everyone's talking about how much words hurt, words hurt, words hurt. Yes, words hurt if you've never been punched in the face. And it's one of the ways you can criticize what's going on. Listen, this does seem a little over the top, so let's put this story aside. But in terms of this oversensitivity,
Yeah.
like, all right, this week, our kids are so woke. You and I talk about it all the time. This week, I'm driving Olivia to school. She picks up this goofy, it looks like a child's pen because there's this like head, a human head, like on the clicker part. So it looks like, and anyway, so she picks up, she goes, ew. And I thought there was like gum on it, or maybe I had spilled like something like juice that then got sticky. I'm like, oh, what? And she's like, it says Santa Monica Police.
Oh, God.
And the clicker was a police head. And I'm like, I don't know where that, clearly like a kids group touring the precinct got those handed out or something.
Yeah.
But that she hates all police. I'm like, all right, good luck.
Oh,
Good luck in
God.
this one. Good luck let me know when you catch up to reality.
Yeah. All right, let's go to this day in history real quick.
I love it.
1976, the theme song from Welcome Back, Kotter is the #1 song in America in
Incredible.
1976. John Sebastian, former member of the beloved 60s pop group The Lovin' Spoonful, was asked to write and record the theme song for a brand new ABC television show with the working title Kotter. As any songwriter would do, he first tried working with that title into his song, but somehow the rhymes he came up with for Kotter, otter, water, daughter, slaughter, didn't really lend themselves to a show about a middle-aged school teacher returning to his scrappy Brooklyn neighborhood. So anyway, he comes up with this kind of like heartfelt, beautiful, emotional song about starting over, and it went #1. And I heard he wrote it in like a day.
Wow.
And it was the first and only theme song he ever wrote. Welcome back.
I remember, and they would, like Taxi, they took a camera out and they
Bob
just
James.
shot. What's that?
Bob James wrote Taxi.
Oh,
Famous
that
jazz guy.
that little
Yeah.
jazz thing.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying they took a camera out and just shot New York City streets, and I remember vividly during the song "Welcome Back," it goes by. It's on the highway, freeway or whatever, their highway, and goes by the sign that says "Welcome to Brooklyn." And do you remember what the stat? Like it said on the sign.
Second largest city in the world or something?
Fourth largest city in America.
Yeah.
And I just remember that, that's when you're in New York and you're just like, this city, I don't even know like 9/10 of this city.
Yep. I know.
But I remember that, yeah. That was interesting.
So anyway, that was this week. Letters to the editor.
Technically, I don't think Brooklyn's a city. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Greg. I got a real kick out of you describing your abs by doing a luggage carry. The exercise you speak of is called a suitcase carry and may be done unilaterally loaded, as you did the other day, or bilaterally loaded by holding weights in both hands. Carries are wonderful for working many other muscles as well as abdominals, and using kettlebells for these exercises is great in increasing grip strength.
Did I miss when you talked about these suitcase curls or whatever the F this is?
Maybe I did it on Fitzdog Radio.
Oh. All right,
Oh.
tell me a little bit of it. Well, actually, it doesn't sound
It's a new
fascinating.
exercise. You pick up a kettlebell and you carry it around like it's a suitcase, and it does all your core muscles, so front, back, side, and they're saying it's like the hot new TikTok exercise.
And you walk down the street with this thing?
Yeah, you walk around your gym or your apartment with a kettlebell.
So, I'm sorry. So, I just want to get the whole image. There's a guy in your gym in full maroon just walking around with kettlebells like he can't find a place to work out?
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
I mean, working out at Gold's, it's fucking crazy the exercises some people do. The big thing now is to like put your shoulders on a bench and put a weight on your belly, and you're on your back, and then you grind it like you're fucking. Chicks
Everyone.
love doing that.
No. All the 4 girls in my family, my 2 daughters and my sister's 2 daughters, will, like, when we went out for Christmas and rented a house, they're just all over the house with their shoulders leaning back on a couch,
Yeah.
doing this pelvic thrust with the heaviest weight they can find.
Yep.
I'm like, what? I don't want to ask what you're getting ready for. What is this? What are you training for?
Yeah, exactly.
And why didn't the generation before you do
Yeah,
this?
Right. This is from Brian in Madison, Wisconsin. Heard you guys talking about Gilbert on Sunday Papers and how frugal he was. Heard a story years ago from Carolla when he was on his podcast. There was a vending machine that was free, and he said when Gilbert left, he loaded up with a bunch of stuff from it. Side note, ask Mike how he can walk with the massive boner he's got lately from the stock market taking a huge hit,
man.
taking a huge shit. If there's an
Solid
earthquake
question.
in California, he'll die a happy man.
Such a solid question. Every day, I have to say, well, it's getting to the point, even though, trust me, the stock market is still so up over the last 2 years. Everyone should shut the F up and stop whining. But it does feel like a pretty big drop. And I know I've been telling you for years, but I did say something meaningful to you a few weeks ago. You got a message from your guy who does your money that it's going up, right? And then I cautioned you. I go, because you know my dad really well. I'm like, he does not send emails like this ever, but he sent an email saying this super rich fucking group of guys down there that my dad is not a member of financially, but he plays golf with them, are like, and these are the people that cause the market to go down once they start pulling out.
Right.
And they said, like, watch out. And that
Yep.
was three weeks ago.
And they were dead right. It's been nothing but down since then. And we switched 3 weeks ago to like aggressive. So I got fucked.
I have a TZA. I highly recommend. I don't. Keep in mind who you're talking to. I will almost undoubtedly be wrong, but TZA will go up 3 times what the market goes down.
Brian G says, COVID is officially over when Mike announces that he actively has COVID-19 and Greg doesn't ask him how he's feeling even once. And then the next episode, they don't even bring it up.
Oh, my God. Hey, this is what go ahead.
Is this to make up for all the years where Mike didn't call you to wish you a happy birthday? Hope you're feeling better, Mike.
Who's this? What a listener. What a good listener.
How you feeling, Mike?
Brian
I guess I should have
G?
asked you, huh?
I feel great, and I also feel incredibly validated. I think I maybe mentioned when I got it, I'm like, there's a small part of me that wants to hear everybody get this now because that would make me feel bigger and stronger and better than everybody. So I admitted that, and boy, did my Schadenfreude instinct get rewarded. I have never known close to this many people with it. I have to test twice every day before I see David Letterman. And please test me. I do not want to go down as the guy who killed David Letterman.
Right.
And I tell them, I'm like, I just had it. They're like, it doesn't matter. And so, I mean, everyone I talk to has it. UCLA, whatever it is, the LA school district is actually being hit like really hard. They're keeping stats on that. But anyway, it really is everywhere and incredibly underreported because everyone just home tests and quarantines.
They say there may be 3 times as many COVID cases. There have been 3 times as many COVID cases as have been reported.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And only the most contagious strain in the history of the world got me. That's the one that got this kid.
Right.
In his underwear in his closet.
No, it's hilarious because, like, we have decided that COVID's over. Like, the masks are off, everybody's walking around, people are meeting again, and guess what? Not over. It's actually spiking right now. There's a new variant that we don't even know the name of because we decided it's over. You want to die from it now? Go fuck yourself. You're going to be alone. We're not going to your funeral. If you wanted to die, you should have done it in 2020 when everybody else did.
It's the AK.2, which is the ass kicker, and it's coming your way. You've never had it, right? Is that true?
Never got it.
You might have it right now. I don't want to jinx you, but I just should say I really hope you do.
And that's all, folks.
All right, before we go, quick shout out in the obituaries. Naomi Judd died early last week. There's this speculation that she took her own life. They said she died. They said she died of mental illness. I
know. And then maybe it's because I know people in Nashville. All right. This is allegedly, and I don't know if it's true. I heard she shot herself.
Okay. Mike
we're
Haggerty.
We're ending on a high note, right? COVID. And all right, here, let's try to lighten this story. A guy this week, and remember, these are only jokes, but he's like, a text came through and he goes, dude, you want to go to a concert tonight? I scored some tickets to see the Judd. Again, no disrespect, but I laughed out loud.
Shout out to Mike Haggerty, who I was friends with. He was an actor. You might have known him from Somebody Somewhere. He was great in Somebody Somewhere. He was on Friends and Seinfeld. He was a Second City guy.
Oh, my God. I forgot he plays the dad in that.
And I got to know him when he was on Lucky Louie on HBO, Louis C.K.'s show. He was great. He was just, you recognize him. He was in everything. But goodbye, Mike Haggerty. God bless. We're going to skip the funnies this week because it's an hour and we got to roll. But
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
you don't mind skipping them?
I don't mind skipping them one bit,
Okay.
although I was prepared. I have Charles Adams right
Oh,
here.
you did. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll do it next week.
Okay, so what's your... I might have to record this Thursday, by the way, on the upcoming week.
Okay.
Oh, maybe Friday. I could maybe do Friday. Friday would be better, right? What's your deal? I don't listen to your dates. Where are you, Kansas City or some bullshit?
Why don't we figure this out off the air?
I think people like our inside baseball.
Next week
You're also going to
is,
have COVID by next week.
Thursday and Friday. I am in town. So, yeah, we can do
Wow.
either day. All right, we want to thank Midcoast Media, our fine producers, Chris Denman and Beth
Oh.
Hoops and Key.
Please,
and-
my apologies to Beth. I
oh,
was
right, you
supposed
blew
to.
her off.
I didn't blow her. I did, but it wasn't. You told her what happened. Hopefully,
I did. We had a planned lunch. Beth was in LA for the festival. I had a lovely lunch with her and her friend. I drove them around Venice. I gave them a
wait
tour.
a minute. I didn't know there was a. I'm kidding.
We did Coke. It was great.
Oh my God, it's such a Gibbons day. Why? You should have
Yeah.
told me that part.
Yeah.
There was a massive joke shuffle, and all of a sudden I had to go to the Henry Fonda Theater, and so I apologize, Beth. I don't think she follows our podcast, but
She
I
edits it.
I know she doesn't edit. Key edits it.
Oh, Key edits it.
No, Beth. Is
No, I think
responsible.
Beth does as well. I'm confused about who does what. We should talk to them
No,
at some point.
of course,
and
Beth
see who
is
does
very
what.
hands-on. It was a total joke. But anyway, very sorry, Beth. It was out of my control. Greg probably didn't tell you, but I warned him. It was a strong maybe that I could make it, depending on how things went.
Well, Adam Egget replaced you. He came in and he hung out with them, and he was charming.
Did he crash his rented Tesla again?
Yes, he did.
You know what's interesting? Do you have another hour? No, but I thought about when you crash a Tesla, that's a very new crash. There's nothing smoking or steaming. There's no spilled fluids. It's just a silent,
Yeah.
you've crashed like a battery.
Right. Right.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And I guess they don't blow up either if you drive it off a cliff.
Don't forget audible.com. Go sign up now, and you can get yourself what are they offering if you sign up now? You can try it free for 30 days. Go to audible.com/papers or text papers to 500-500 and do it that way so we get the credit for it. Okay, we'll see you guys next week.
All right. I'm going to say take it each then.
Take it ish.
There it is.
Sunday babies with Greg and Mike. Sunday babies with Greg and Mike. Sunday babies with Greg and Mike.